Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me lead trainer for Team Parker, Andy Lee. Andy, firstly, how are we doing?
Fine, good, thank you.
Some nice words on top table from Dave Colwell about you. Obviously trained and spent a lot of time with Emmanuel Stewart and Adam Booth, and sprinkle a bit of your own knowledge. So yeah, quite nice of him to say that.
Yeah, nice, but it proof's in the pudding, isn't it? And as a trainer, you live and die by your results. And you could do all the best work in the world, but then you fight to get knocked out in the first round, punch he doesn't see, and then so it's my reputation's probably a bit boosted by association with Adam Booth and Emmanuel, but I gotta start getting good results, and then I can be considered a good trainer.
Andy, it's normally when fighters get a victory, especially as they get latter towards their age, they want to move on. You know, a win is a win, as they say. Why did you want to give Derek this rematch?
The first fight was extremely close and controversial, and even after the first fight I wasn't sure who won it. Haven't watched it back. I can see Joe won it by a couple of rounds, but I wasn't satisfied with the way he won it. And what better way to measure your improvements by fighting the exact same guy and trying to correct the mistakes. So that's why. It's my motivation as a coach.
Derek did some interviews during the week, and he said it seems like Joseph has added a lot more muscle and he might be going for more power in this fight. Could you elaborate?
Yeah, Joe's probably going to come in around 248, 250. It's not been conscious it just happened naturally. We haven't tried to bulk up, or it just happened naturally. He's training extremely hard, eating well, and he's a big guy.
You obviously were front hand at that first fight. Are you convinced that Joe can go in there and, as he predicted, stop CHISORA between rounds 6 and 10?
You're never convinced of anything. It's a very unpredictable sport, and anything can happen in the ring. But if Joe can replicate what he's done in the gym, then he's very capable of winning by knockout.
And I see videos in the gym, and it's thriving at the moment with Joe, with David Nika, Jordan Thompson, Fury, Tommy Fury, John Fury in there as well. So quite a busy gym for you.
Yeah, busy end to the year. We had Isaac Lowe, Jason Quigley, Sonny Bill has joined us this week. We've had a lot of good sparring up there. Kash Ali was with us, Kamil Sokolowski, Sonny Taylor. We had an extremely good camp, and it's pleasure to be involved in.
In terms of the fight itself, Derek, I spoke to him yesterday, and he said, listen, I'm going to bring war, that's it. And he posted a story on his Instagram earlier this week, the 5-year anniversary between him and Dillian Whyte at this very stadium. Do you feel like the crowd factor and Derek trying to get revenge is going to bring the absolute best out of him?
Yeah, he's felt aggrieved, so he's got something to prove. And the way we're planning to fight could be a very similar fight to the Dillian Whyte fight, because Joe's not going to run. Joe's going to stand his ground. He's the faster man with the better technique. So why should you run?
Have you got a prediction?
No, I don't have a prediction, because I know how, God laughs when you make plans. So I don't want to make any predictions. Just hope we win.
I saw you take Sonny Williams on the pads. How is he? I know he's got a fight coming up in March.
Sonny's got the makings of a really good fighter. Can punch, picks things up fast, very enthusiastic about boxing, very focused man, and a nice fella too. So it's been a pleasure to have him here, bringing in some new blood, an outside influence, and freshen things up. So I think he's got a good future in boxing.
Andy, just a couple of quick things before I let you leave. I didn't catch up with you after York Hall, after Isaac took that loss, but how is he doing, and kind of what's next for him?
We're not sure what's next. He'll hopefully fight again early in the new year. Put up a tremendous effort, fought a very good fighter in Lopez. And when you get dropped, and Isaac being the character he is, getting dropped in the first round like that, very heavy, his plan went out the window. The strategy went out the window. But he showed a lot of heart in the fight, and a lot of guts and bravery, and those things you can't teach. Everything else I can teach him. And his career, you can't go from fighting. He went from fighting Ed Harrison, no disrespect to him, but he's a journeyman, in March, the first fight in over a year and a half, and then to go step straight in with a world eliminator, with a world-class man who's beaten 3 of the top guys in the last 3 fights. It was a massive step up, but he competed there, so you can see the improvements. I'd like to see him consistent, have 2 or 3 nice fights, and he's right in the mix in the domestic level. So any of those fights, him and another Dave Caldwell fighter, Jordan Gill, will be a great fight, or any of the featherweights, he's right there with them.
And just the last one on Tyson Fury himself. I know he's just done his kind of UK tour. Then he flew over to America to sing happy birthday to Bob Arum on his 90th. I'm not sure Will's going to be here at 90 years old, but looks like Dillian Whyte is next for him. The mandatory has been called. I know negotiations are slowly in progress, but are you happy with that particular bout next for Tyson?
Yeah, I have no involvement on that side of things with Tyson, and I'm just his friend and his cousin, and sometimes we talk boxing and strategy, and that's it. Who was out there to challenge Tyson? You know, Dillian Whyte is a good fighter, and he's earned his shot, and he deserves his shot, and I'd like to see him get it, and I'm sure it will be a good fight. And Tyson, listen, Tyson can't be complacent with anybody. I know he won't, but subconsciously it's always, that could always creep in. But Tyson would be a heavy favourite. But Dillian Whyte's a puncher, and listen, a heavyweight fight only takes 1 punch.
All right, Andy, I appreciate you giving me a little bit of time. All the best Saturday night, and we'll catch up with you, I'm sure, then. Andy Lee for IFL TV, thank you very much.